Apologize.
Oh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This meeting is being streamed live. Oh my God. Who have I got next to me here? Kind of blurry.
Yeah.
Fucking up. It's already fucked up. And I've already ruined the algorithm.
Oh, that just you swore.
Yeah. Anyway, screw it. Oh my God. CJ.
In person.
I'm at the Sogokaku Studios in Japan with Charles Jewett from Sogokaku. I can't believe it.
Welcome.
How did I wind up here? I don't know. Remember?
I picked you up at the airport.
Oh, that's
I
it.
brought you here.
Oh, that happened. Yes. So, we're here to talk. What are we talking? I don't even remember what we're talking about. Rizin. Is that happening?
Yeah, I was
Again?
talking about the Rising 42. It is important to note that we just finished a night of drinking in your jet lag. So
I am insanely.
this should be
checked out.
fun.
And what's happening on Rizin 42 tomorrow? Today?
Well,
Yes.
hopefully something more exciting than Landmark was.
Landfill.
At least they'll be in the ring.
Will it be in the rain? Oh,
We have
well,
that going for us.
don't tell J Wolf that because he'll be very, very, very upset about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess tomorrow will be good, maybe.
It should be fun. I mean, Ariake Arena is a cool place. It's got some good fights. I mean, Kaya Sakura's a big star. Yuki Matoya is one of the most boring fighters of all time. Got Naoki on there. So, I mean, it's an exciting card. I'm excited for it. And I think the Landmark card kind of showed that even if a card looks really good on paper, it doesn't necessarily deliver. It just depends on the matchmaking and the style of the fighters. And I kind of expect this card to be better than the Landmark card. It's easier to say that in hindsight after watching Landmark, but I feel like this will be more fun.
I mean, the show also had like 12 fights. The other one had like
9.
9.
Yeah, it's just there's some interesting ones. Plus, it's got a couple. I mean, you got Yaman making MMA debut in that custom rules bout with Kota Miura. You got Naoki fighting. You got Juan Arcoleta. You got Kai. Yeah, it should be fun.
I guess it'll be. I mean, is this? I am. Is there a well? So, okay. Also, this is at Dipper Ariake. This is a, oh no, Ariake.
R.I.P. just for Ariake.
I keep on calling because I'm a big Noah fan, and they always use their shows at Dipper Ariake. I think that's where the Noah.
Well, deep in Pancrase, you see a bunch of shows there as well.
And
it's like the old base of operations for Pancrase.
I actually remember I went there. And I remember the train ride. It's like often like fucking boondocks.
Well, it's not in the boondocks. It was once you got off the train, it was like a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, it was right near the ocean or right near the river or something.
Sorry, river, yeah.
And I remember I talked to some English, like Japanese lady who was there speaking English, and she spoke English.
English Japanese lady.
Yeah, this is how
interesting sighting.
I'm drunk and high as fuck. Anyway, yeah, she told me that Dipper Ariake was gonna be closed down, and one's gonna move somewhere else.
It's almost like Pancrase is the kiss of death. If they make you their home base of operations, be it Dipper Ariake or Studio Coast, you will be shut down.
I like the old one with the
disco ball.
Yeah,
that's Studio Coast. That was awesome. They like the whole like VIP room.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about some of the fights.
Yeah,
the ones that don't suck or look like they're gonna suck, preferably.
Well, one of the fights that kind of sticks out to me is I don't know why, it's kind of morbid curiosity, but I am kind of interested to see how Ursi Yamamoto does. I mean, he's been gone for a while, but it's kind of interesting because he does have my attention. He is kind of an interesting character. And early on in his career, when he lost to Tokoro and Kron Gracie, I actually thought he looked pretty good. Like considering that was his pro debut, and then his fight immediately after that, he was fighting one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys on the planet and one of the best grapplers in Tokoro. I thought he looked very good for moments, but then something happened. He just completely fell apart. And then I stopped caring. But then there was the press conference when they asked what he was doing the past 2 years. He just said, I've been chasing ass.
Yeah. Did he also say, well, did he,
Perfect
that was
answer.
that was his Yamamoto answer, but wasn't he also, did he also like actually say that, like, oh, I read was it E-Fight interview with him? So said he had a back injury.
Yeah, he was injured as well. I think he also had some issue with like getting paid or something. It might have been a manager dispute. And trying to think. Yeah. But one of the, I was thinking Aoki, who kind of is like notorious for teasing him, made an interesting point about it, saying that
Shinya?
Shinyoki
Okay.
kind of like notoriously teases him because it makes fun of it, keeps calling him family. It's kind of like in a mocking way because Urson would always say about him and me, like, we're family. Kind of like the Dom and what in Fast and Furious, me familia kind of stuff. And so Aoki always kind of mocks him, but Aoki did say like Urson truly has nothing to lose in this fight. And so there should be like zero pressure. Whereas the first part of his career, he probably had a ton of pressure to perform well just because he's kid's nephew, he's Mia's son, and his grandfather wrestled in the Olympics. So there's a ton of pressure. That's got to be all gone now because if he loses, nobody cares. And if he wins, nobody really cares that much, but it will like help launch his career a little bit more.
It's also like, is he just not good? And right,
He's looked good.
where he's athletic, but like he's just not good. Is it? I mean, he looked good in the Tim Estra fight, but like that's like I don't know.
He was, I don't know what it is. It might be his fight IQ because do you remember when he was cornering Miyu Yamamoto? He was telling her when she fought, she was like, it might have been the Hamasaki fight,
I think
that she threw her punches too early. He's like, oh, you threw your power punch too early. And all I could think was like, that's her only chance to win it. Like, if she had a chance to throw that punch before she got taken down, she should have thrown it as soon as she had a chance because that was her only chance to win the fight. It was absolutely terrible advice that he was giving her.
was it or was the Reina? Was that the Reina fight? No, I think go.
No, the Rena fight, he also gave terrible advice because Rena got up from the after me took her down, and he was like yelling at her to get her down again. And it was because of that Miyu kind of darted in and ate that knee to the dome and knocked her out.
So he's not a good MMA fighter, and he's kind of a shitty coach. We got Kome Day, Daniel Poshammer, and Anna all checking in. Thank you all for coming in. But I mean, like, what's the end goal? Like, clearly, Rizin brought him in because Yamamoto, and it's like, okay, Yamamoto, Miyu, yada yada yada. And like, clearly, the experiments failed. He has not achieved any sort of even any remotely like probably what they were hoping. Now he's facing Yukito, who's like a legitimate up and coming prospect too, right? He was in the deep, probably like tournament, but I think he got eliminated early on, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And he also has the win and Rizin, I believe, over Sugiyama. Was it Kohei Sugiyama?
That might be right. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Some one of those people. They said, isn't Orson only 26? He's only 26, but also like
He's super young, but if he's been wrestling for a long time, so he might have injuries stemming from that. And in his last fight with Rizin, it was very clear that like Sakakibara and Rizin brought in someone for him to beat, and that guy knocked him out. Because remember, like Sakakibara,
yes.
because Sakakibara was like furious in the press conference. He was like just talking about how he hasn't lived up to like any of their expectations, anything like that. And he even talked about like sending him down to the minors, like you got to go down and get some fights.
Didn't he do like one fight at King the Cage?
Or I think it was scheduled. It might have been canceled.
Okay.
He and both Miyu were scheduled to fight in the US. I think it might have been canceled. Also, like let's not kid anybody. The only reason he's on this card is because Miyu was originally scheduled to be on this card in her retirement bout, but that fight got canceled when she got injured. And so he's kind of a leftover from that.
So
Ito isn't the best fighter he's ever faced, but it's still someone who's proven to be a better MMA fighter than he is.
Daniel makes a good point. Well, lower weight class might mean a chance for some. It could be a chance, but I don't know. I just don't think he's that good. I legitimately just whether he's because he's an immature person, because I feel like I don't know. I don't. Maybe he doesn't take it seriously. He kind of just does it because.
I don't think he takes it seriously. That's the impression. He might, but the impression I get from people that know him, have been around him, is that he's kind of like a very playful attitude about the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's well off. I'm pretty sure that Yamamoto money is like off in the bank. He doesn't have to do anything.
You think he's getting some of that you Darvish money for Christmas?
But maybe he's a little bit of Ensign Inouye money from alimony. I don't know. Maybe so. I think.
You still get alimony if she's married again. I mean, that's cut off.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Plus, I mean, Urson's got to pay for his own kids.
Yeah, who knows? It just, I mean, also he takes this long layoff, like legitimately,
Very long,
like
2 years, right?
like how long, like how is in serious of a back injury could have been that he was out 2 years. I mean, Kentaro came back from his back injury. I mean, I guess it's possible that he shouldn't have come back, but Kentaro I'm talking about, but I don't know. It's just can he win? Do you think he can win this? That's the bigger
He
question.
can win because Urson is incredibly athletic. Remember that fight he won with like the elbow knockout?
Yeah,
I mean, he can knock anybody out. He's got that ability just based off his pure athleticism. But that aside, he's not going to technically beat Ito in a fight.
no. Ito should win. I
I
think
mean, he might wrestle fuck him. He might
I don't
take a
like
note
that.
from his
Yeah.
mom's book.
he has not actually done that at all in any of his fights. That's
No.
so I don't think he's
Yeah.
gonna do that.
He's always up to date. He's always kind of fought as a striker, kind of avoided his grappling background.
Well, good on him for coming back, and I'm sure if I have any questions for him, or we have any questions for him at the question office, we can at least ask him, and he'll be able to respond to us in English. So, I mean, yeah, good on him. Hey, what else? What else is happening? Joe has like 100 fights. And I don't know any of them. I don't remember any of them.
Let me think. You want to talk about Ashita Majima or do you want to skip to Mura Yaman?
Ashita and Majima is interesting because they're both on losing streaks.
Mhm.
Majima, I don't think has won any fights in Rizin. Yeah, it's
No.
funny. He came into promotion like undefeated, or like I think all like maybe one loss, but he finished all of his like wins, and then he comes in the Rizin, gets his again. Well, in fairness, won the first round against Saito. I know, judging the whole thing, whatever, but he won the first round if you're judging unified, and then makes the mistake of that takedown, gets his face kicked out into the second row, gets destroyed by Kanehara.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're kind of like both grapplers, so it's kind of like, I kind of always interested when it comes to grapplers, like do they grapple or do they not grapple? It also could just be a boring ass fight, and I could be entirely wrong about this. Or like they're both on losing streaks, so they're both safe. One play it safe.
I mean, Majima has lost his past 3 when he was finished in all of them.
Yeah. And then I mean, Sheeta's kind of been like he's kind of like the unofficial gatekeeper of 145. He'll beat like people like Kagiwara, but then lose to like I think he lost to Agwan, I believe.
Yeah. Back in Agwan was Agwan.
Yeah. And then also Kanehara. Also Kanehara.
Listen to Kanehara's the thing. Kanehara's beating everybody. He said he called out.
What's it called? Mythic 145 Kanehara.
Yeah. Then I mean he called out Vugar in his last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a favorite or you have a pick? Do you think how this one goes?
Did you see what Daniel was wrote? Majima's winning every one of those rising fights and lost every one of them. Might be accurate. I'll go with Majima on this one.
Why the fuck not? This guy's a welder in his,
Yeah.
like, in his life. Let him get one win so that he could go back to like he's like from like a really like from Gunma or Ie. Like he's talking about like a sticks like part of Japan.
He's like, yeah.
So let him get a win. Ishida will always be around to gatekeep somehow. Will the other fight Yaman and Kota Miura? What are the rules for his fights?
I think it's just an MMA fight with shorter rounds.
2 rounds in like 3 minutes type thing.
Let me double
Does
check.
even Verizon even know? I feel like I think the Verizon makes the rules for these like custom rule stuff. Anybody in the chat who's here, like, if you know the rules for Muir,
I think-
please let us know.
I think the rules are the same. They just made it the rounds shorter to help accommodate from the transition to kickboxing to MMA.
Has Cody Muir actually done like a MMA fight with like I guess the traditional rules, or they've all been like no soccer kicks and stuff to the head and
Well, I think they've always allowed soccer kicks.
no, I don't think I think his matches they don't allow soccer kicks to the head.
Really,
I believe, yeah, because
don't damage the goods.
yeah, don't damage the goods that's for all those Thai girls and Vietnamese girls. I mean, so Miura is obviously MMA. Yama wants to go to MMA, but like I don't know how long he's been doing it. It's kind of like usually doesn't bode well.
Mhm.
I mean,
I mean,
good on Yama for getting an MMA debut so quickly.
Mira trains at Brave and appears to be trying to become like a grappler of some sort, which is probably a good strategy against Yaman, who, if it is a striking battle, Yaman will win. Yaman's clearly the more decorated striker. I know that Miota fought Buakaw, but didn't exactly go his way. So
So what
I
you're saying
expect
is
this
the
to have
winner
work.
of this has to face Buakaw again. Or
That could be
maybe-
interesting because I mean, it'd be fun to see Yaman versus Buakaw or Kota Maguro.
Well, Yama says he's going to MMA, so yeah.
Pay Buakaw enough to get him to MMA.
Oh yeah. Don't spend money on Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah,
A lot easier to
both
spend money.
Buakaw 1,000 times.
Daniel said that two rounds, 3 minutes, no idea about the rule set. I'm pretty sure the rule set is like no soccer kicks to the head, I believe, or no.
Why would they do that? Cotamiro is like known for being a soccer player's son. You'd think they'd want to highlight the soccer kicks, only soccer kicks.
Yes. I remember the fight usually they mentioned on English commentary that they said that no things were allowed to the head. And the guy that I think it was who's the guy he fought after? He fought somebody else after, I forgot. Miura. I don't remember, whatever. This fight obviously has to favor Miura. Like, I'm thinking, or is Rizin giving up on Miura because it's like, oh, this guy's like not gonna fight that much because he's now going to Thailand to take exhibition boxing matches all the time.
I don't think they're giving up on Mura, but they're clearly factoring that like Yaman's also a young, super popular guy. I think Yaman goes on the Breaking Down show and does stuff with Mikuru, so he's getting a young audience. And it seems like Kota Mura's gaining a lot of Vietnamese and Thai female fans, but that doesn't necessarily generate into income for Rising.
Yeah.
They care less about that and more about Yaman, who's developing actual fans inside of Japan.
Komede said Miura's getting a proper career start. Kind of.
The Yushi fight was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
Daniel Bolshammer said, interesting, Kazu fly from Portugal. He had to debut his new Portuguese club in April. I don't know anything about soccer, football, so I didn't even know he was in Portugal. All I know is he came out for the Yushi fight. I don't think he came out for the second fight that Kota had against.
What was that?
Yeah, that's what I meant by Kazu. I mean,
Yeah, I remember him wearing like that white suit with the white hat on.
and he got his blood over it. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expected.
RG said it's gonna be a 5-minute 2-round fights. So okay. That contradicts with what I think Daniel said is 2 minutes, 3 rounds. So we're not sure of the rules. If we're not sure of what exactly it is, I'm pretty sure Rizin does enough. Anna says Yaman will win, even though we don't know about his skills. Yaman's fight mentality is very strong. That is true. He is a hard guy to put down.
Dude, was it his last Rise fight?
He was like
Kaiju, or he had like a broken rib.
yes, or he had, and also he got like the big ass like cut on his eye or like his forehead.
I had a rib that was like it was on like the verge of like puncturing a lung or something. Yaman's a complete badass. So he's a brilliant addition to the Rising roster.
I'll say this, Yaman just Don't go to the ground. Don't try like pretend the ground is fire. It's like
It's a smart move.
yeah, the floor is lava. That's the game you should play. The ring is lava. Excuse me, the ring is lava. Canvas is lava.
So what I'm seeing is the fight between them is 2 5-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel also mentioned that. So he's playing. That Yama is training with Rio Chonin from what's it
Tribe
called?
and May?
Tribe. Yeah.
He's a good coach. Travis May has had a lot of success on the international race scene, produced a lot of top level talent, including Ursiamo's girlfriend. So
Mhm.
see if that rubs off as well.
Well, here's the thing: until one of these people is successful in Tribe, in a PFL, you can never say that they're truly successful. Okay.
It's interesting. I'd be curious to see how Yaman started training there.
What do you say? How to see Yaman in PFL? I'd be like, oh, all about that.
I mean, I'd watch that too.
What should be next?
I mean, you can't talk about Kodamira and not talk about Buakau taking on Ampo.
Oh yeah, how this happened.
I was telling you earlier, I'm actually more excited or intrigued by Buakau coming to Rising than Mayweather.
Probably this says one championship must have stopped going to Rio Chonin. Oh, were they using a lot of Rio Chonin people?
Rio Shonen was essentially like some sort of advisor role for one championship, and his gym was just like pumping out fighters for them to use.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's going on anymore.
Okay. Buakaw, yeah, Ampo. I mean, well, I guess Rise is getting all these. I mean, we have another Keto from K1. Rise is getting all these K1 people.
I mean, the one championship got Takeru, they got to keep up.
Oh yeah. Takaru versus Rodtang, which will be the biggest kickboxing match of all time. No doubt. No,
What if one championship called it the match too?
I think they should just call it the match.
Just call it the match. Is really fun. That'd be better. You're right.
Just call it one presents the match.
Just act like the first match never happened.
Yeah.
Hold it at the same venue and everything.
Uh,
That'd be beautiful.
and Chachi used to say this would be the one match with the superior kickboxing rule sets, and have it at 12. Was it? No, 5 minutes. Wait, was it? Well, 5 minutes, five rounds, 5 minutes. I don't know, whatever. It's isn't Buka like 80 years old or
Hey, the supplements he's taking are working. He looks like he's in tremendous shape.
and Ampo's like 20 whatever. All I know is that Ampo knocked out the guy who Kitamura, the pro wrestler guy, and like an amateur like type thing where they're wearing headgear. I think it was Ampo or his brother. I don't remember which one, but I think I'm 90% sure it was Ampo. But in fairness, like he's one of the most popular guys from K1. Like maybe on a Ren level, would you say popular?
It's possible. Ampo is very popular. I mean, I've heard of him and he's popular because I only know about K1 through Babalu Jack.
I mean, what do you think? So this fight's gonna be 3 minutes. No, 3 minutes, 3 rounds. Do you think they just call it a draw? Wait, no.
I got 3 minutes, 3 rounds. Yeah.
I think they're just gonna call it a draw at the end. Unless somebody actually like gets knocked out or like knocked three down. I feel like I don't know.
The pessimist me would be like, it's a Japanese player fighting in Japan. Buakau's gonna have to kill him.
Yeah. I'm always happy it's not exhibition fight. It's actually like a pro fight.
Yeah, it makes it 100 times better. It's a real fight. There's consequences to what happens.
But I always try to figure out like when Rizin makes a fight, like what's the end goal of this fight? Because there's usually like
Why are they booking that fight?
So they book it because they see value in having Buakaw on their thing, or do they see this as an opening for potentially Ren versus Anpo in a kickboxing match? Because obviously Ren versus Mikarushi never happened. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever in any setting.
Especially with Mikus with those super long fingers.
Yeah. What do you think? Oh no, what do you think? What do you think the end goal of this fight is?
I think, man, I mean, they want Ampo to win clearly, but I think Buakaw has enough name value still in Japan. He's fought in shoot boxing, he's fought in K1, that it'll be a good commercial for the event. People will get interested in it because he's on it. And he's coming off, did he fight bare knuckle as well recently?
No, yeah, for BKFC, the #1 promotion in the world right now.
Yeah,
WFL.
it'll be nice to see him back in the non-deviant fight combat sports.
Kobe Day says he likes the anti-MMA angle Ampo is doing now, which clearly means he will be going to MMA because that's a pro wrestling thing where we say, oh, I'll never accept the match. I'll never accept the match. Okay, you got the match. So he's basically saying I'm gonna go into MMA
Yeah, that's interesting.
eventually.
Like Yaman was really talking about it though in advance.
Yeah, well, that's another thing as well. Do you think he came to Rizin so he wants to do MMA? Because I mean,
So
they're not a kickboxing promotion. They do hire kickboxers, but I just, Cozy said he wanted to go into MMA. I believe he said that. Yeah. Tension obviously was an MMA in Rizin before he was doing his kickboxing stuff. So yeah,
Well-
do you think you'll just eventually? You think they'll do Ren versus Unpo in MMA?
I think he switched MMA on purpose. I mean, in Rise, he had that one kickboxing bout with open finger gloves.
Mhm.
So I think he's very focused about the like the specific MMA setting. And I don't know why he's focused on it. He was a very good kickboxer. Yeah.
And then Kobe Day also brings up a good point. As a child, Ampo trained with Buakaw, which is true.
Well, I know that.
They showed that picture like with the two Ampo brothers training with Buakaw.
Does that mean they like went there for a weekend or did he actually like legitimate?
Oh, I think they legitimately trained. I think because it looked like, I mean, these two guys were like legitimately like doing Kyoshin karate or kickboxing, whatever, when they were like 6, 7, 8 years old. So I believe they legitimately were. They must have done something. They must have done some sort of seminar or whatever with him. So they learned something and they get the pictures. So you can kind of be like, oh, look, they met their hero and now one of them's gonna be up their hero potentially.
You think that's a good storyline? They had that in Pancrase, the whole storyline of like the former guy fighting the guy he looked up to.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Ampo will you think this will end in knockout, or do you think it's gonna go all three?
I think he goes all three. I think Buakaw is too suave to get knocked out. I mean, he gets knocked out, but in this fight.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Buakaw? You've seen Buakaw, right?
Yeah.
Kind of maybe like a buzzsaw almost, with like his
like aggressive kicking style.
very aggressive kicking style.
Yeah.
Because those ties like start kicking when they're like 2 years old. And
He's very explosive. He's either doing nothing or trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think it really actually could be an exciting fight. I really think it could be
I agree, because I feel like Japanese fighters, in particular, Tenchi aside, kind of historically struggled against Thai fighters.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Who is I think isn't it Kento Hawaguchi in Rise who like always loses the Thai fighters? I think it's him.
Yeah, there's a Thai guy that's a champion in K1 now, right?
Yes. Oh, what's his name? It's like
Krechenek or something.
something in whatever gym or whatever. Yeah, I think this is, I got hand to okay. I really hope this never happens. What do you think you think this would ever lead to like Buakaw versus, God forbid, Floyd or Pacquiao?
No, I want them to get Andy Sauer back.
Ha!
Do Buakaw versus Andy Sauer in the MMA bout.
Do you think they're doing a lot more of this like high level kickboxing stuff because one's again doing it and they're kind of like,
I don't think that's what it is. I think it's because there's specific kickboxers in Japan that are very popular, and Rising understand that, but they're also like drastically underpaid. So Rising sees them as a good way to expand their profile at a good cost.
Yeah. No, listen, I think this could be fight night potentially,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guess this, as J Wolf will say, this is the official People's Main Event. What else is happening on this show?
Well, we got Souza fighting your boy Spike Carlisle.
Oh, actually, that could be actually the MMA. That could be the MMA People's Main Event.
Weren't you just saying that you didn't know what you thought about Spike Carlisle until someone was Instagram post, and now you just really believe in everything he says, all full support?
Listen, I mean, like, listen, this guy, he's a great fighter. Like,
Yeah,
I think
he's
he's a
a-
legitimately good fighter, and
Very tough.
he could be a Bellator, not that that's like a high mark Bellator champion, or I think it's possible he could really beat Souza. He can knock out Souza.
Mhm.
But Souza, listen, Aaron takedown or gets taken down himself, Souza could, could submit him.
Well, I think Souza could submit anybody.
Yeah.
He's a very good submission artist.
He can submit AJ McKee. I would say Antonio McKee.
But I mean, Spike is such like a wild card kind of fighter. He's very gritty, very tough, doesn't give up.
Who he reminds me of actually? So he reminds me of when Yusuke Yashi first fought in Rizin.
Oh yeah.
Like the first before the Mikuru fight, I'll say.
No fear for himself.
Yeah, kind of like a Mexican judge to be, just kind of like always moving, always like no sense of like stopping.
Yeah.
And just always coming forward or doing something, defending or doing an offense. Daniel Dizbek says it's an easier fight for Satoshi after his last on New Year's Eve. This could be harder, I think, in different ways than McKee. I don't think McKee wasn't going to finish Souza, but like Spike Carlisle could really overwhelm Souza. Souza, and like finish him. Maybe he's the first person to finish Takeda.
Yeah, knockout or TKO.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way to beat Souza.
Yeah.
All he has to do is hit him with a grazing shot and break his orbital bone.
Again,
Yeah, Satoshi will tap out.
Yeah. Though, listen, I'll give Souza credit. He's looked great. Even the fight against McKee, he looked good. He looked good. And then obviously beat Johnny Case second time around. He's improved.
That submission was insane.
Yeah.
The armbar.
And his striking has looked good as well. It's better.
I think it's just improved. I don't know, it's good.
I should say, it's better.
Yeah.
It's not as dog shit.
Do you think he'll have the ability to take Spike down? Or we have to pull guard and try to do something like that?
Like, imagine we get like a jumping triangle.
Eh?
I'm gonna say Spike Carlisle is not. Will not. No, I'm gonna say no. Might be able to take him down.
Interesting.
Yeah. So probably this is gonna be the people's main event of the night. No, if he wins, if Spike Carlisle wins, do we get a Spike Carlisle versus Satoshi fight officially for the title, or does Rizin just ignore it and be like, oh, never happened?
I think they ignore it and they make something else happen.
What they do? Who beat Gustavo? You think they do Gustavo instead?
No, but
Well, listen. They did a Carlisle and Souza, and Carlisle beat him for the title. You then do him versus Gustavo. That would be insane.
can you imagine if Carlisle was champion and over here that'd be fucking nuts.
I want to thank the Jews
for controlling the world and making everything possible.
I'm Jewish. I can get away with that. I can get away with that. What else? Anything else?
No, it's been a good fight. I mean, just Spike did train with Takeda ahead of this fight.
Yes.
We actually saw him seconding
Koji
Takeda.
Takeda Romanoff with the little beard, but Takeda lost, so maybe it was not a good thing to train with him. Maybe
It wasn't that funny if you're watching the fight, you just like hear him being like, "You gotta damage him."
Is this gonna be like a Valentina Shevchenko thing where like she went to train with all these fighters, and now all these fighters are gonna start losing?
Falls apart of the scene.
It's like the movie The Cooler.
Yeah.
With William H. Burke. He just spreads bad luck.
Yeah. It's possible. It's possible. Team Bonsai just falls apart.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be hilarious. No, wait, no.
Takeda's team falls apart, yeah.
What was the fight you were about to say? Or no?
Well, the next fight was the Naoki versus Juan Archuleta.
This fight could be exciting or it could be really boring.
I mean, if Juan decides to just wrestle the entire
if they
time.
both decided to kind of just wrestle and they kind of just like hold each other against a turnbuckle.
Yeah. Because I believe even if they got fucking taken away from that, let's go right back to it. It's be boring again.
I think I feel like this is the type of fight where there's gonna be like 3 or 4 restarts like per round.
Do you think this is the type of fight where Juan just goes for a takedown and just holds him against the ropes?
Yeah.
Reset and he goes for it again?
I would hope that Naoki's grappling jiu-jitsu would be able to negate that, but I think that Archuleta is, he can be put into bad situations and like get out of them. Like remember the Soul Choke him had that Darce choke or Anaconda choke, and he was able to like get out of it. Like the one fight, the Rafian Satz fight, only guy to ever finish him, I believe. So, and even his losses, he's a hard guy to like.
Mhm.
So I don't know. And also, I mean, Naoki anyway beat Kenta Takezawa, but that was an easy gimme fight.
But he struggled against Ogikubo, who
That's
also
the
has
thing,
that kind of grinding wrestling style. You got to think Juan's higher level than Ogikubo.
The other thing also is that this will really test where Naoki post injury, post that meniscus injury.
It's true.
If that injury is fully healed, then hopefully it'll be the old Naoki. But like that, if that is not fully healed, is like still recovering. Then like, oh, it's gonna be a long night for Archuleta. It's gonna be a long night, actually, for Inoue.
It can be just like that Ogikubo fight where you just drag him into the deep waters and never let him have to breathe.
Yeah, and then anyway, but if Inoue wins, he gets to go to UFC again.
His stock price is higher than it's ever been. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of good. I mean, and here's the thing: I never understood why a lot of these fighters in their interviews
Mhm.
will say, "Oh, my goal is to go to UFC," and you're literally saying that with the like surrounded by Rizin brass. It's just something I just don't get. Like this isn't Invicta.
Yeah.
This is an LFA. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like people Bellator, what you want to do that Bellator? You want to do that PFL.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It's just something, one of those things where like, if that's how you really feel, like kind of hide it. Because then like, why should I book you again? Because you're saying like, oh, you're just gonna leave,
Yeah. It's like, why would the promotion waste any time investing in making you a star?
Yeah.
If you're just going to leave and not have any return.
That's just my personal belief. I just don't understand. I don't understand, especially like when it's like your first fight in Rizin or something, and then like you like say, oh, like my goal is to be UFC, like UFC.
And Rising is just like, oh, check, don't promote him.
Yes. Hopefully he loses. Well, prediction though, how do you think wins? That's the question. Who do you think wins? Sorry,
I passed out.
yeah. We're doing our impression of our impression of Oka Sasaki versus Boyd Allen.
We are absolutely exhausted. I just like to pass out for a second. I would like to add one note that is worth noting is ahead of this fight, Juan did train with a Japanese female wrestler, Yui Sasaki, who is like one of the best female wrestlers in the world. And he trained with her in the US. And I noticed when he came to Japan, he was training with her as well at Waseda. And so it seems like he is working on his wrestling training because Waseda has a very prestigious wrestling program. So I kind of expect.
Oh, Waseda University?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I expect that wrestling, if he's training there this close to the fight, wrestling is probably going to be a big part of his game plan. And I don't see Inoue being able to stop it. Just how does he adapt to it?
Mm-hmm.
Is he able to turn it into a submission attempt or not? And based off of the Ogikubo fight, I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Naoki. But if Naoki wins, it'll be a finish.
Yeah.
And if it's a decision win, it's gonna be Juan Archuleta.
Yeah. I'm gonna just officially say Archuleta. I think Archuleta will win. I think if Inoue, even though I know he was in, I think was he injured during the Ogikubo fight, or did he get injured from the Ogikubo fight?
I think he injured his back, but it might have been in that fight that he injured it.
I mean, if you're going to think about down by Ogikubo, I think take down Archuleta. I don't see how he's gonna finish Archuleta. I really don't see it. I mean, his striking's gotten better, but I think that Archuleta is probably the better striker as well.
Really, that's interesting. I would always thought that Naoki's striking, at least his jab, was one of the best parts of his game.
But like that's something that like Archuleta, I think, is like he'll be easy. Like he can easily like prepare for.
Possible. I'll pick Naoki. This will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the upset.
What's next? Is there anything else? I don't think this card has anything else. I think we finished, right?
Well, Rising's most popular and exciting fighter, Yuki Matoya, is facing Kaya Sakura in the main event.
Is this Rizin 2012, 2013? Because I think this is like a fight that was like booked like for that time period.
Yeah, Kai just knocked out Koji Horiguchi. This is him coming off of that. Nothing else has happened since.
Daniel Bravo point. If this and Naoki Juan are double title eliminators, so that means like the winners of this will fight for the interim bantamweight title.
I didn't hear
I think that
anything
was like
about that.
unofficially, like kind of implied by Sakakibara. But also Sakakibara says a lot of things that don't.
Yeah, so if you look at the Rizin website, they call it like the invisible tournament semifinal. So I think they're kind of saying it's like, it's assumed that the winners of this will fight for the title, but we'd like to be able to change our mind if something happens we don't want.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which translates to if Yuki Matoya wins.
Exactly. Yeah,
This main event is very unappealing to me.
could be exciting, but I think it has a lot of potential to not be exciting. Because Matoya is one of the most boring fighters of all time.
Contrary to what people in the famous Rizin Discord say.
Yeah, Kai's not looked as good since like his paper mache hands have been shattered repeatedly.
Yeah, so you got one fighter who continuously gets injured in his fights and also outside his fights, and a fighter who is Yuki Matoya is like at one time he was my favorite submission, maybe one of my favorite submission guys because he would just do these weird ass.
Yeah, but Ueda has converted him into a striker now.
Exactly, and also he's a lot more. When I calculated, I'd say boring.
Strategic.
Strategic, that's
Yes.
strategic. I think that fight with Von Toren was an accidental knee. That was an accidental knee knockout.
You're more of a fan of the Matoya that faded Takizawa.
Yeah. Oh no, was it Taki's? Oh yeah, well, he got knocked out by Takizawa. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you have. Kai is also not. I know that J Wolf. God bless you, J Wolf. You call him the Asakura Action Brothers. If he is anything like his brother from this, oh my God, this fight's gonna suck.
Yeah, it has potential to be boring, especially based off of Kai's last performance against Takizawa in the tournament was incredibly boring.
Remember, I think Takizawa had his jaw broken. He was still like fighting, like putting up more of a fight than
Yeah, Takizawa was like legitimately messed up and was doing way more. And I thought near the end of the fight, he was actually tagging Asakura more than Asakura was hitting him. But yeah, I mean, Asakura puts a bunch of pressure on himself, which doesn't seem to be good. He's like, I have to win, which may be why he's not been performing as well as he used to. Whatever the case is, it's not looked as good as he used to be.
And Daniel says that Toya can't go through the Gassi and Rizin. He lost with every higher ranked opponent. That's true. He lost to Kyoji way back when.
Lost to Naoki.
Yeah, he lost to Naoki. He got fed by Naoki. He got eliminated from the tournament. Oh wait, it was by Naoki, I think. Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of the 135 gatekeeper. But even if that's the case,
Most boring gatekeeper of all time.
listen, this is this is a just like the main event of the last show, it's kind of a fight. I'm like kind of perplexed. It's a very odd. I feel like this is a fight that they would have booked years ago to build up Kai, but now it's like now Rizin's kind of wrestling with the chance that Matoya might win, so they might have to do Matoya versus Juan Harcheletta.
If I was Rising, I would feel like Naoki versus Juan or versus Spike is the.
But here's the thing, this is also the thing that Rizin does. Rizin will book fights and hope that the winner that comes out is the winner that they want, which
is backfired.
Which is in this case Kai versus Naoki, which is the two Nagoya boys facing off each other. They call each other out for years and years, and it's like you should just do this match. Just
make the match.
Just make a match.
Yeah.
Do it. Say what you will about Bellator. That was a great thing Bellator did with Yoel Romero and Anthony Johnson in that tournament. Yeah, they just booked it.
Did that fight happen or was it canceled?
No, I think Anthony Johnson got injured
now.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson's dead.
Yeah, so it's fine.
So it's definitely canceled.
Yeah.
Anything else on this?
It wouldn't be the first Bellator fighter to die, but still fighting him.
Oh yeah, that's true. For shits and giggles, I'm interested to say if you can miss Matoya wins. I'm sour.
Matoya wins. Man, that'd be so devastating for Kai's career.
Imagine him trying to do the post end of the fight promo because Matoya is not a good speaker anyway. So he has to finish off the show.
Just if Naoki wins or Matoya, I wanted to see them pull up that pad of paper and write out their answers again and have the round girls read it.
Yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to in the show? No,
excited to go-
good night. Good
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
everybody.
I'm
No,
excited to see what the show looks like at Ariake Arena. It's always nice to go to a new venue and see what's going on. I enjoyed the show at Yogi quite a bit, despite the fact it only had 2 bathrooms. So the line for the men's room was about 300 men long.
Mhm.
But outside of that, it was a cool venue, great views. So
is this show sold out?
I don't think so.
No, it can't be
it's in
sold out.
way too close of proximity to the landmark show.
Yeah, that's another thing I wish they didn't do is that rather than kind of like kill their own, they kill their own thing by like having the shows in the middle of the same city,
Week.
same week, same city. They did this like in Osaka or Nagoya. That's the other thing. You're having
What if it is sold out and just 20,000 Thai tourists come to watch
that would be fun.
Kota Miota fight?
I thought you could say
They don't even know who Buakaw is.
yeah,
They're there only for Kota Miota.
Buakaw crowd. Yeah, no, that'd be funny. Do you think does Mira really have that sort of like reach where he could get people to like fly in?
I think so. Did you see when he fought Buakaw? They had that fan event and all the people were there to see him and it was in Thailand.
Oh yeah, nobody was there to like see Buakaw.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, man.
Yeah. What else did we write? I don't even remember what else we write.
Those
Yeah,
are all the fights.
yeah. That's all the fights. I feel like there's like a
There's other fights. Those are the only fights I really care about.
Yeah, fair. I agree.
I'm also exhausted.
I'm exhausted too.
I think you asked me several questions and I was legitimately asleep.
That's fine. That's fine. Listen, you have to get prepared for Boyd Allen versus Oka Sasaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see the show? It'll be on Fight, on the bundle as well. We'll be getting a live in-person experience, so we'll let you know who. What do you think the announcement that Sakaki brought gonna say? Because apparently they say he's gonna do an announcement tomorrow.
The announcement will be Super Rising and will involve some sort of terrible exhibition match that I'm not interested in. Or it will be the Hawaii event.
I think, well, no, the arena is being renovated.
I mean,
That's what
according to Jay Wolf, that's just them dragging their feet because they don't want to allow soccer kicks and stomps.
well, I think that they're going to announce a joint thing with the PFL, because PFL is buying Bellator, and PFL, we're gonna get New Year's Eve, PFL versus Rizin.
I thought they were going to announce that PFL is also buying Rizin.
Oh, no. They could, but no, I think, and we're gonna get matches like Brendan Wathane versus Clever Koike and Alban Mossier versus Roberto Satoshi de Souza.
How do you actually know PFL fighters' names?
Well, because the number one promotion in the world, according to the Smart Cage metrics.
They used to be the World Series of Fighting, right?
Yes, they used to be WSOF, where they were like selling for the like giving like 4 for 1 or 1, whatever that deal is.
But then there was also the other World Series of Fighting Global, that one event in Japan.
Yes, yeah. But yes, Daniel is right. It is 1:50 a.m. We are tired as fuck, so we're just gonna sign out. People can reach you at Sogokaku.
We've also been drinking.
That's true.
And you're also jet lagged.
Yes.
And you also broke your toe today in jiu-jitsu practice.
Yes, I broke my toe in jiu-jitsu practice. That's all I'm gonna say about this because So
turns out I still got some moves on me, and I just put him in a no hands knee bar and ripped his toe off. So.
Yeah. We'll be at Rizin tomorrow. Get on Fights, follow, everybody where to find find us. Anyway, whoever tuned in, thank you so much. And we'll definitely do a recap. Maybe.
Yeah. A more sober and well thought out recap.
Yes, and
where I don't fall asleep while you're asking me a question.
yes, okay. We'll be talking soon, everybody. Thank you again. Thank you for the support.